Troubleshooting common printer issues part 3. And you can see we have our image of our laser printer components, our diagram here, and you'll want to refer to this. And we're going to talk about 3 different issues you might see. The first is vertical lines on the page, as well as streaks, smearing, and toner not fusing to the paper. This is all part of, okay, the toner isn't looking right on the page issue. And so black lines or streaks can be caused by a scratch on the print drum. So you might see that sometimes. And if there's a scratch on there, then the toner's kind of fill in that scratch, and that's going to get applied to the paper. So you get those black lines or streaks. And usually in this case, the whole toner cartridge needs to be replaced. You might also get white lines on the paper. This could be caused by a dirty transfer corona wire, and we're talking about horizontal lines. If you have some dirt specks here, every time this turns, that dirt speck will be placed against the paper, and that'll cause the transfer corona wire to fail right in that little spot, and it won't pull the toner off of the print drum. So you get those white lines every, inch or so, or every half an inch or less. So in that case, you can replace or clean the transfer corona wire. You might also see wide white vertical lines, and those can occur when something is stuck to the drum. Every time the drum turns, it puts a line or a smear on the paper. Redo that sentence. Every time the drum turns, it'll create that vertical line on the paper in that one area where the drum has something on it. So, you have to watch for that also. You might get some white lines because of the drum. And then again, the toner cartridge would need to be replaced in that case. Smearing can occur if the fusing assembly fails. In this case, you might notice some of the toner coming off the paper, and it gets on your hands because it wasn't fused correctly. That means that the fusing assembly has failed, the heat isn't working, or the rollers aren't working properly. And you can sometimes clean the rollers, but usually you'll have to replace the fusing assembly. If it's an inkjet printer, one or more of the ink cartridges might need to be cleaned or replaced in this case, and the printer might need to be calibrated. If you see this type of thing where you're getting a lot of ink on the page and you can actually, it gets on your hands. But for the laser printer, you're going to check that fusing assembly if you see smearing occur. So that's the first issue, those vertical lines, the streaks, the smearing, and the toner not fusing to the paper. These are all toner issues. These are all part of the paper is not looking right. It's not getting the right images on there because of some kind of physical failure here. The second issue, garbage printout or garbled characters on the paper. This can occur due to an incorrect driver. Some technicians like to try close drivers, and it's not a good idea because you could get this issue. So you want to use the exact driver for the exact model of the printer, and it has to correspond to that version of the operating system that you're using as well. Also, you want to make sure you know whether you're using PostScript or PCL, so what type of printing system. In addition, a bad formatter board or printer interface can cause a garbage printout, and these are usually replaced on the side of the printer. There will be a cover with 2 screws that you replace. You remove the cover and then replace that board at PCB. And the third image is the ghosted image. Do that sentence again. And the third issue is the ghosted image. Ghosted images or blurry marks can be a sign that the drum has some minor imperfections. Especially if the image reappears at equal intervals on the paper or on every paper. So you want to replace the drum if possible, or just replace the entire toner cartridge. Another possibility is that the fuser assembly has been damaged and needs to be replaced, but usually it's going to be something with the drum and the toner cartridge if you have a ghosted image. So there's 3 more issues for printers. Again, know your components of the laser printer to be able to figure out what the problem is. And that's it for this sub lesson.